Greetings, Mechwarriors! PGI has finally released the Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries Intro Cinematic, so let's go ahead and talk about it, shall we? As always, guys, we are going to go scene by scene to talk about what we see on the screen and my thoughts towards it. The intro starts with an image of Earth being zoomed out into the far reaches of the galaxy, and the speaker tells us how humanity started to conquer the heavens and basically formed the governing force, the Star League. Now, the amount of information in here is a little bit sparse, but this is serving to be a short intro to the game series, and I think the information given at this point is sufficient for that, and it's a nice sequence to see it zoom out into the galaxy and even further amongst the asteroids. I like the animation they did for the inner sphere, how the humanity just branched out between the planets, and then you see the full formation of the inner sphere. That is beautifully done. Then we finally see the logo of the Star League and what the Star League was all about, but once again it's very brief, so we're limited to the Star League was good, technology went good, and then there was a big fight. Everybody was evil, everybody was greedy, and because of that, the Star League crumbled and split into the successor states. And I like the animation that they did for that. I just miss the location of Terra here right in the middle, but it would also have been nice to actually see the kind of names for the logos. So, for example, we as Mechwarrior Online or Mechwarrior and BattleTech fans, we know that, for example, the fist is House Steiner, or that dragon is House Kurita, or the sword and is with the sun is House Devian. So all of that makes sense to us, but for newer players or for people new coming into the franchise, it would have been nice to have name tags attached to these logos, I think. But overall, it also serves to give a good impression of what's going on, how the scenery is set. Once again, I would have liked to just see at least a couple of blips on the map, Terra, and maybe a few of the homeworlds of the other states in here. Now, so far, I think the intro did a good job. It sets the mood, it has some visuals in it. It's nothing too crazy. We're not talking about Mechwarrior 2, Mechwarrior 3, Mechwarrior 4 level production quality. By far not, no. But it does a good job of setting the mood. My main gripe actually with this is what follows. Now we're talking about what's going on in this area. And we're talking about the mechs. So the speaker is now talking about how the great houses are waging war amongst each other, and he's talking about, and first time introducing mechs as that means of waging war, and he's talking about hulking battle machines. And what do we get to see visually? We see a destroyed and crumbled Centurion. That's not a hulking battle machine, that's a hunk of junk. That visual representation could have been chosen better. And then we're jumping into the mech lab, and once again we'll see some work being done on the battle mechs. And now finally, with some humans in the picture, you actually get a sense of scale for the battle mechs, and that's more hulking. But let's keep on going through this, and then I'm gonna give you an idea of what I would have preferred for this trailer. We also finally learned that the year is now 3015, so we know which time zone we're in. We're seeing more pictures of battle mechs being repaired, being worked on. And again, once again, nice images of Centurion. I really like this image in particular, guys. This one I really liked because, to me, as a sci-fi nerd, this is funny. This Centurion with the red light glowing in the visor. I mean, come on. This is screaming Cylons. This is screaming frackin' toasters. So I like that one a lot. And then we're talking about like how these mech warriors will rise to become legends, and we see lands of battle mechs engaging each other. We see missiles flying, lasers just shooting through the air. We see PPC shots demolishing and melting mechs. We see big stompy robots destroying buildings, stomping on tanks, shooting down helicopters. We see, oh wait a second, no, don't see anything. And that's the problem here. There's this giant build-up towards the mech warriors and the mechs, and then you do not see those mechs in action. The only thing you see is them in a hangar and them standing in a dropship, and then the dropship opens. I mean, I get it, the dropship opens. It's now your turn to get into the fight, but come on! Like, this could have been done better. The first part of the intro, I'm okay with. It's low budget, but I'm okay with that. The second part, to me, is just not well done. Is that a huge issue? No. I don't think so, because ultimately it's down to the gameplay. The intro is, what is it, 1 minute 30 seconds, so that's not going to make or break the game, but it does fail a little bit of setting the right mood. The music, I like. The first part of the intro, I like. The second part needs more action, it needs more combat scenes. Mechwarrior is about combat, so how can you not have combat in that intro? Now, to be fair, and this is a thing I have to say so that people understand it, we're talking about PGI here. PGI is a small developer. If you look at the other Mechwarrior games, they had bigger developers, they had bigger publishers behind them, and they did have insane amounts of resources. If you think about the intro that was done, for example, on Mechwarrior 2 Mercs, a lot more action. Mechwarrior 3, Mechwarrior 4, Mechwarrior 4 Mercs, all of these games had bigger budgets behind them. So yeah, I guess we have to live with the fact that we don't get the extremely flashy, extremely high-tech, extremely polished trailers that we got when Microsoft was still in charge. But ultimately, as I said, I don't think it's a huge issue, at least not for me. I just want to get into the cockpit and do some damage, and that is the most important part to me, how the game has developed from the beta to now, and we will see that in a couple of days. That's a little bit of food for thought, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. And of course, we will continue the coverage of Mechwarrior 5 as everything develops. Have a great day, guys. Take care. TTP out.